Welcome to Gemini season. The sun officially entered Gemini today, May 20th, and it'll stay there all the way until June 20th. This is gonna feel like a breath of fresh air, honestly, because we're just getting out of Taurus season, which is all about being very practical, very grounded, physical almost, solid. Gemini is the opposite of that because Gemini is an air sign. So they're very lighthearted, very energetic, very vibrant, effervescent, social. So this is really going to be a season to kind of like get out of our homes, get out of our Taurus comfort zone and really start moving out in the world and start socializing. This is gonna be a very interesting Gemini season though, because Gemini is normally very social, quite outgoing, very intellectual, very curious, but we will also have Mercury retrograding in Gemini for most of this season. So, like I said, the sun will be in Gemini from May 20th until June 20th. And then Mercury will be retrograding in Gemini, the same sign, from May 29th until June 22nd. So the retrograde is really going to last most of Gemini season. So while we do need to do the Gemini thing of being curious, wanting to learn more, satisfying our intellectual fascinations, we need to take that intellectual energy and curiosity and sort of focus it inward and focus it within ourselves. So instead of just going out there to learn a bunch of random things or listen to the news or figure out what's going on in the outside world, we need to take that curiosity to figure out what is going on in the internal world and really get to know ourselves on a deeper level. So this is really the time to figure out more of who you are or what your values are, what you stand for. Get to know your shadows, get to know your limitations and how you hold yourself back. So this is really a time of internal reflection and curiosity for ourselves and who we are on a soul level. I also feel like with this retrograde, we're definitely going to be revisiting a lot of situations from the past now. The past is definitely going to come up very strongly with the retrograde and also with the fact that we will have 2 eclipses during Gemini season. So this is really going to make us revisit things, revisit old problems or things that we thought were fixed in the past that come up again as problems. This is the time to tie up loose ends or to reconnect with people from the past. So I will talk a little bit more about that, but this Mercury retrograde in Gemini is really going to throw a tailspin on this season where we need to direct a lot more of this Gemini energy inward and into ourselves on a soul level. The house you have in Gemini on your birth chart is definitely going to be a hot spot this month because there's going to be a lot of activity happening in that zone. So definitely check on your birth chart where you have Gemini and which house it falls in because that area of life may really come into play in the next month. So now I will just share 4 quick tips on how you can make the most of this season. My first tip is, of course, to utilize Gemini's curiosity to learn something interesting that you have been meaning to learn and to really open yourself up to novel, unexpected concepts that might even seem a little bit out there and a little bit beyond your comfort zone. Again, Gemini is very curious, very inquisitive, and they need a lot of mental stimulation. So that's why they're always reading books or listening to podcasts or just talking with people. But I think we all need to find some type of subject or topic that we want to be learning about. And it might be best to align yourself with topics that kind of seem out there or not mainstream or not accepted by society because Mercury in retrograde in Gemini is really going to help us understand those types of concepts. Mercury retrograde helps us think differently, see things differently, see things in a different view than how we might have been taught by society or by our parents. Also, if you do have Mercury retrograde on your birth chart, then that is your superpower as well. You have the ability to see things on a different level, that on a different vibration almost. We're vibrating on a different energy than other people. So we need to take that to our advantage this season. So study interesting subjects or out there subjects, things that are not mainstream, things that are woo-woo. Mercury retrograde even gives us the ability to download messages spiritually because, again, we're just kind of vibrating on a different wavelength. So it's really a great time to pursue any esoteric topics, metaphysical topics, or anything else that kind of seem out there, especially if it is something that you have been wanting to study for a long time or been meaning to study, kind of tying in the past to the present. And also if it is something that is really going to help you understand yourself on a deeper level and kind of get to know yourself more. So think about if there's anything in your life right now that checks any of those boxes. But really, again, this season, we're gonna feel a lot more need for mental stimulation and to satisfy our curiosity. So you can do that however it makes sense for you. Just don't be afraid to seek knowledge in unexpected places. My second tip is to push yourself to get out there and start socializing and networking with people who can help you further your own goals, especially if those people are people you have interacted from the past, if they are past connections, because again, that retrograde influence. So Gemini in general, they're very social creatures. Again, they have a lot of intellectual energy, so they like to share that with other people verbally through communication, and they can be very good at spreading their message or sharing their message. And I feel like, again, the season is really a good time to connect with people who are gonna help us further our goals, whether those are professional goals at work or personal goals. So this is a really good time to connect with like-minded people, or if you are a business owner, you may want to connect with other business owners to do collabs or do IG lives with other people, things like that. Again, especially focus on connections from the past. So if you want to hit up like an old boss or old coworkers, old colleagues, just old friends in general, this is a beautiful time when you can gain help from the past and also tie up any loose ends or smooth out any problems that you might have had, or just kind of revisit the past to make sure that it is something that you want to continue into your future. My third tip for this season is to shake up your daily routine and kind of try to do things differently than you might have done it before. So I know in Taurus season, we sort of focus on having a routine and feeling very grounded and sticking with what is comfortable and familiar. But Gemini really loves variety and flexibility, and they need a lot of versatility in their life. So this is a good time to sort of shake up your day-to-day, try to do things a little bit differently than you used to. This could be as simple as like taking a new route to work, trying to drive a different way, trying a new exercise routine, trying new recipes, anything like that where you can add a little bit more variety into your life. And you may find by pursuing these new ways of being that you actually run into unexpected opportunities or new ways to do things, new projects, new blessings that you wouldn't have run into otherwise if you were sticking to your old routine. So again, think about how you can introduce a little bit more variety, spice, and flexibility into your life. My final tip for this season is sort of like a warning, I guess, in some sense. My final tip is to watch out for too much overthinking and too much overanalyzing and kind of getting stuck in your thoughts. I often hear my Gemini clients saying things like they let their brain kind of run. They get their thoughts stuck in a loop, and it feels like, they're just overanalyzing, overthinking everything. That is definitely something that we can run into this season with Mercury retrograde as well, which kind of makes us feel confused in the beginning and not sure of our ways. So just be on the lookout if you find yourself getting stuck in a thought loop or getting stuck with negative thoughts that won't go away. If that does happen to you, I think one of the best ways to resolve it is to lean on Jupiter in Pisces, which is going to continue into July. I've been talking about this transit a lot, but Jupiter in Pisces is the spiritual awakening type of energy. It is the mystical healing type of energy. So use Jupiter's influence to remind yourself that you are truly guided spiritually, emotionally, mentally. You are guided by angels, spirit guides, aliens even. You are guided. You are also protected. Just know that you will never be making the wrong decision when you just do things that are best for you and right for you in that moment, and you are honoring your needs. So whenever you get stuck in thought loops, just ask yourself, what is best for me, or what would be ideal for me in this moment, and give yourself the permission to follow that vision. With that, I hope this is all helpful. Next week, I'm going to be talking a lot more about some of the really intense energies coming up, eclipse season, retrograde season, and so much more. So until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful day.